Well, good morning and welcome to Cape Town. Check this out. Not too shabby, Nigel. So we've got Table Mountain over there, and then behind me, you can see there is Signal Hill. And here we've got the bike I'm going to talk about this morning. This is my Honda CB500. I'm going to give you a little rundown of how it's going for the first 5,000 kilometers with this bike. Let's just have a quick look at the things that I've fitted on here so that you can see what I've done. So I've had some engine protection here, so if the bike falls over, let's just rephrase that, when the bike falls over, I've got some kind of protection. And then next to that I've had the radiator guards to protect from all the little gravel stones that invariably will come and clonk up there. So I'm actually very grateful I got the bigger skid pan because it protects the exhaust, the oil filter, the underbelly, the catalytic converter on the bottom. So I'm very happy with that one. Then I've also had some racks fitted for my luggage. I have soft luggage on that because that's my preference, and a top box rack. I have yet to get the top box. And then bark busters to help save the levers and keep my hands dry in the wind and the rain. I've opted on this bike to go without the center stand, and I did that on purpose to give me a little bit extra clearance when I'm doing off-road. The ABS on this bike is on all the time. There's no switch to turn the ABS off, so just keep that in mind if you are wanting to ride on the gravel type stuff. There are ways to MacGyver having the ABS turned off, but from Honda, from the factory, it comes without the switch to turn it off. Now I do pretty much half of the riding I do is on the gravel. I haven't had a problem at this stage with having no ability to turn the ABS off, to be fair, so at this stage I haven't needed to think about it. I just carry on and it does its thing. So for me, the fact that there's no ABS off switch hasn't caused me any problems. Right, then another one which pops up quite often is the fact that this has cast rims and not spokes. Again, I'm not riding around at 200 kilometers now on the gravel road hitting great big potholes. I'm just tootling along on the gravel, so for me this isn't a problem at all. If you wanted desperately to have spoked stuff, then the new Transalp might be something to consider. Rally Raid do a spoked conversion for this bike, so you could do that if that's what you wanted to do, but I haven't had an issue or any of that kind of MacGyver. Also, these rims would mean you can run with tubeless tyres, which obviously makes fixing a puncture out in the bundus considerably easier than taking the wheel off and changing the tube. So there's pros and cons for each. I haven't had a problem with these being cast rims at all. It's not a concern for me, and the amount of gravel stuff that I do, it does just fine, so I'm not worried about that side of things either. As you can see, I've had some racks and bags fitted so that I can do the off-road thing. I've gone with soft luggage just in case I fall over and it doesn't damage my legs or damage the box. If you were playing around more in the city, then the solid boxes might be okay. I'm just not a fan of solid boxes for off-road. Let's get on to the comfort. Is this thing comfortable to ride? I will tell you without a shadow of a doubt, this thing is very comfortable. There's no issues that I have with this seat whatsoever. I am 5'7", which is 175 or whatever that might be. I have no problems. I can tippy toes with both. When I've got my boots on, obviously my feet can't point down as much, and I'm still just fine. Long ride, short ride, standing up, sitting down, traffic, off-road, gravel, everything perfectly fine. The seat is comfortable. I have had no issues. Some of the people say they get a little a fold or a crease in the seat, but As you can see, mine hasn't folded or done anything yet, so I don't know what their story is there, but this one's fine. With regards to maintenance, you can see everything is very open here, so nothing is, you don't have to pull any panels off there, it's dead easy. So if you wanted to do stuff yourself, you can reach the oil filters there. Everything is easily accessible. It's no mission at all. I've changed some pegs. That was a quick fix. I've put some guards on, bash plate and some guards. Easy, nothing complicated. I've also fitted a rack on the back. This will take my soft luggage if I go on a off-road trip, and then eventually I'll put a solid box on here so that when I'm in town I have somewhere to put the helmet, and then if I go away on a trip I can take the box off and put my soft luggage on. Now I've used this bike 50% of the time on gravel roads and 50% on the time on the tarmac. It is equally at home on both of those. I have had no issues whatsoever in the traffic and no issues whatsoever on the gravel. I have had the Mitas tyres fitted for the off-road because the standard tyres were a little bit for going on the gravel, so I opted for that. Because I use this mostly, I don't use it for commuting, so I rigged it up for its use, which was off-road. These bikes do suffer with an exhaust being very close to soft luggage if you have. So if you've looked at previous videos I mentioned about the guard that I fitted to protect the exhaust from melting the bag. It's just something I knocked up. It's working fine, so I have no reason to change anything at this stage. But keep in mind, if you wanting soft luggage on this bike, just keep in mind you need a bit of a plan to keep the bag away from the exhaust. I did change the pegs. The difference in riding ability, chalk and cheese. Because you're standing up a lot on these gravel roads here, and it just wasn't working with the original ones. And when the original ones get wet, that rubber strip, when it gets wet, it gets very slippery. So you only have to half fall off once, and then you're like, okay, that's it, I need to change. So as soon as I changed these over, that transformed the comfort of riding on the gravel roads. If you are somebody that likes all the fancy stuff on your bike, all the fancy modes, then this is not the bike for you. It is just dead straightforwards. You turn it on, you got your fuel, you got your gear, you got your revs, and you got your speed. There's no modes. There's no traction control switch, there's no on-road, off-road, there's nothing. There's just turn it on and go. So who's this bike for? Well, I think somebody, to be fair, similar to myself, not too tall, not too short, just wants fuel efficient, fun riding with a sensible machine that won't let them down. This bike is incredibly fun to ride. Unless you're a really tall person or short, or you really desperately need the spoked wheels, or you have to have lots of power, it's not complicated, there's no electronics, it's just easy, and it is really, really fun to ride. I've ridden a lot of bikes in my time, and this one ticks an awful lot of boxes without even trying. It does everything very well. It's comfortable to ride, it's fuel efficient, it's not too big, it's not too small, it's got lots of torque at low end, so if you mess up the gears in the traffic, it doesn't matter, it just sorts yourself out. It can go on-road, it can go off-road. There's lots of gizmos that you can attach to it so you can make it your own. I would be hard-pressed to find something as much fun, and it makes it fun because it's easy. I think for the money that you spend, you're getting an awful lot of value. It's been very well made. You know it's going to last. There's a reason why these are so popular. It is a really, really nice bike. So if you're on the fence, go try one and see for yourself.